the numbers just aren't adding up. Welcome everybody to Wonders Workshop, and today we are talking about the anomalous numbering on 3 cards in Wonders of the First. Now, we already know why 2 of them are numbered differently than the mythics start, then rares in alphabetical order, so on and so forth. And that's how the cards work. For anybody who doesn't know, the cards are numbered, all the mythics in alphabetical, then all the epics in alphabetical, then all the rares alphabetical, then common, then uncommons, then commons, so on. It goes down the line, like you would expect. But there's 3 cards that don't end up where you would expect them to. The first is the first. I had to pause because my brain thought that sounded weird. It's 001. It's the first card. It makes perfect sense that it is 001 in the set. It's not down with the commons because it's more important than that, because it's just such an amazing card. And because it's so special and unique to the set. The other one is Emma, Fix 'em Shockbite. That is due to a collaboration between Wonders of the First and Shock 'em Comics. 238 is a special number for Shock 'em Comics. It's used in their promotion. It's also several places in the comics, so if you're reading the comics, be sure to look for those Easter eggs. And it's just kind of a nod and a collaboration between the 2 companies. But it has some really interesting side effects on the cards overall. Emma is numbered 238. That is among the uncommons. That means that her card is printed more frequently than other mythics. So we see it a little bit more frequently. And you can also hit it in an uncommon spot in the packs. So for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this right. It's 3 commons, then 2 uncommons, then you start the rest of the pack with the foils and so on and so forth. But in those 2 uncommon slots, you can hit Emma as just because of the way the spreadsheet and the printing ended up working. And so I think that's really cool. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about whether or not Emma, there should be a few more copies of Emma, or because Emma's one of the flagships, whether she should be even more rare. I don't know what the answer is. I think she's a really good card. I play her in one of my decks, and, I feel really lucky to have a version of her. Somebody gifted it to me, and, the kindness in this community knows no bounds. There's one more anomaly, but I want to address a different point with regards to the organization of the cards before I hop on that one, because this is important to understand before we talk about that. I have a lot of books, and yes, I'm going somewhere reasonable with this. I have a library of books. One of my entire walls is bookshelves. And when you are organizing books by title, or anything else by title, or alphabetizing anything else, one typically drops articles. A, an, and the. That's not the case with Wonders cards. Wonders cards are alphabetized, including the. So all of the cards that have the are in order in their rarity. So there's several cards in commons that just go boom, 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 boom. I would guess that this has something to do with the fact that when you're alphabetizing in Excel or Google Sheets, I think you could probably set up either of those things to filter out the word the and then alphabetize, but that seems like it would be a lot of work. So I'm guessing that for ease of spreadsheet use, the Wonders team just chose to run with the being part of the alphabetizing. And I don't blame them. I've worked with 1,000-line spreadsheets before for like some communication projects that I've worked on in school. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Like, I had to learn a concatenate formula. I don't want to have to do that again. So understanding that these should be alphabetized with all the other these is kind of important to this third anomalous card. And that is the Sky Seeker twins. The Sky Seeker twins are number, let me zoom in, 359. And, you know, that doesn't seem too strange until you look at what 358 is, and you look at what 360 are. 358 is Oakthorn's Elysium, a Petrian land. Some of you probably know it. So O to T seems like a large jump. And 360 is Patch Squibbler. So LMNOPQRST. So either way, whether or not they're trying to drop the and use Sky Seekers, which I kind of doubt, or you have the, it should be much farther down in the numbering. And so I'm wondering if this is a simple mistake, which people are human. I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't be upset. Like, that this is not me being like, haha, you did something wrong. This is me being curious. Some people misinterpret that from me. Just, I guess I have that kind of personality. But no, this is me being curious because they've put a lot of Easter eggs in a lot of places and a lot of mysteries to figure out. And I'm wondering if this is an additional mystery. Just because they seem to be very intentional about everything. But I don't know. It's just one of those mysteries that I'm wondering about. Like, when I'm looking at the card, I don't see any super interesting flavor text on it. They're a primary wonder, Celestarian, orbital walker scout. There's not a ton of orbital walkers that I remember. But I could be wrong. I'm checking. But like, they're also a pair of kids. So, it's just a really interesting card, and I don't know. Okay, there are a lot more orbital walkers than I remembered. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm intrigued, and I'd love to know if, like, somebody else is seeing something that I'm not, that would be a super easy answer, or if I am just seeing all the mysteries that they've given us and going crazy with everything. I don't know. Either way, they're actually a pretty, like, the Sky Seeker twins are actually a pretty good card as well. Like, on arrival, seek 3 a spell with cost 2 or less. That's pretty good in a deck that has Boundless, because Boundless tends to have more spells in it, in my experience, but that could also be wrong. Like, I don't know, but it's a card I would run if I had a deck that I was running like that. So yeah, there's the anomalous numbering in Wonders of the First. I, like, scoured through and I couldn't find anything else that didn't match up with its alphabetizing or anything. There's always mysteries and there's mistakes, and we don't know what the answer is until we ask the question. I try to stay curious. My parents love Ted Lasso, so I would be remiss if I didn't say be curious, not judgmental. So yeah, I try to be curious and not judgmental. It was super, I will be interested to see if we get an answer from the question of what this is. And I'd love to hear what y'all think. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and keep being your wonderful selves.